to the next part of me building my Harley Quinn hammer for Megacon this year. I have so far built the base structure of the hammer, and then I've done all the detailed bits for the handle of the hammer, and now I'm moving on to the face and head of the hammer to make it look more detailed. So stay tuned as I try to make foam look like wood.
Fantastic. 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 Fantastic.
So I removed this cuff piece because I realized that I put it on too soon and I wanted it to go below the bark, so I'm just removing it. But this actually gives you a really good angle of some of the little detail work that I did on the metal and the leather right there, you can see. And then I'll cut a bigger piece later once the wood is done, and I'll attach it back on. So I've brought back my piece back to my apartment, and this is my list of things that I still need to get done. I still need to finish placing all the wooden panels. I've gotten a good most of it done, but I still have a few little pieces, as you can even see in this picture. And then just using my Dremel to add a lot of texture, sand down between pieces, and just shape the edges nicer around the faces of the hammer. Needing to add the wrap that'll cover part of it, and the bands, the metal bands. And then using aluminum foil to add more texture to the wrap and the length of the hammer, where it'll look kind of like leather. And then finally coating it in the sealer, coating it in a primer, and then painting it. So still a bit more to do. essentially by dropping it, I feel like I messed somehow with the system because one of the tips, which was the main tip, unfortunately, that I needed, just wasn't, like, it never worked the same after that, and that made it really hard to continue. I could kind of do some work here, but you can see I'm messing with the tip right there just to try to get it to sit right, because it just, I don't know, I honestly have no idea what happened. But I kind of just kept going, and I tried to give all the bark pieces more individuation, more texture, and I could mostly do what I needed to do, but not perfectly. But you'll see more of that in a minute. So I accidentally dropped this, and I think it's warped a little bit because the heads no longer fit on it, and they keep like popping, which makes sanding this down really hard. I mean, it's looking good, but I can't do everything that I want to do, and like all of these tip type bits, like they're not, like I use this one, and it's just not really like getting down the way that I want it to. Like it's just taking forever and not really doing what I need to do. I might try a sanding disc. I don't know if it'll work, but if I can't use a sanding drum, then that's just really gonna mess up my plans a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna try it. I don't know about this, but we'll see. Yeah, that didn't work. Don't do that. Don't do that. So I quickly realized that I was still having trouble with the bits, that even getting new ones that hadn't been dropped was still the issue, which is when I started to realize that I thought that maybe dropping the machine as a whole had given me an issue. So I quickly pivoted and started on the edges towards the face of the hammer, because that's where I felt like I really needed to shape things with the stronger tool, and the bits were continuing to warp a little bit, so I was able to thankfully get at least a good amount of work done still on the head before the bits just completely stopped working for me. But yeah, I quickly switched to the edges because I knew those would be more important. this really great idea to press these little like mulch pieces into the foam to give it more texture, and I'll show you a close-up of it a little bit later in the video, but it worked so well. Just by heating up the foam, you allow it to hold on to whatever shape is pressed into it, and so I was able to give it a really more natural, more dimensional looking texture just by simply pushing in mulch into it to make it look like bark. So I'm going to be attempting to fill in this area here because it's going to be visible. So I have this air dry foam clay that I got from Hobby Lobby that I'm going to try to like patch in here. And this stuff is really cool because you can use it to like sand and paint, and it'll act pretty much like normal clay, normal foam is what I've been told. So we'll see how it goes. Well, he opened it. And I'm doing the same thing on the other side, just kind of connecting the two pieces.